All right, so got it all in the blueprint, got it all laid out. So in general, I'm going to start with the biblical proof that the Bible is tied to the cosmos, 7 chakras, 12 zodiacs, all of that, the true lineage and energetic meaning of the marriage lineage of the father and the mother, the one true, Allah, the all source God, and what the true meaning of the children, son, wife, daughter, husband, so on and so on. The 36912 connection, the distortion of the teachings and the warnings of that, and what will happen from that. Jesus saying, confirming the oneness and how we need to come back to one. Quotes telling us not to live through material means, and if we don't do that, Satan energy is allowed to curse us, and verses saying that also. The choice has and always will be up to us because this is a free will test for us. Money is supposed to be used for life and energy for God's way. In a sense, like money is like tithes, so you're paying your tithes to your understanding. So let's say you go out there and you learn your lesson, so you're paying your money to your temple, your tithes to your temple, so you can move in alignment. So that's what that is, not to actually get physical money. We were always one and called to remember that. The majority rejected the truth and have accepted lies. How to confront our errors and acceptance of false teachings. Life is a refinement test, literally telling us, and then it also says our body is a temporary vessel. This isn't the first time for this test, but it is the final test, and it says there plenty of times. The 7 resets of Bible align with the 7 chakras, the 12 tribes, 12 zodiacs, disciples, 12 times 12 times 1,000, which is one complete cycle. One day with God is 1,000 years here, and 1,000 years here is like one day with God, and that's where you get that God will hear the 144,000. It's a frequency. Where the 144,000 fits in, that does the Quran say the same thing, showing all of these connections of the Quran and how the Quran is saying the same thing about resets. Our own choices cause this, our suffering, new heaven and earth, the promise for that. More connections of that oneness connection. Unity is the obvious key. Our money says, in God we trust, but is this God's way? What if we finally align with God and not greed, the honest truth? And that's just my general endings there. But I just have all of the verses and connections so people can see that the whole meaning of life is to realize that we are one and reflections of each other, which is why the great commandment is love God with all thy mind, body, and soul, and love thy neighbor as ourselves, because we are reflections of each other. And this test here is not actual life. That's why Enoch said this is the third heaven of heaven and hell right next to each other, because it's the test before true life to see if you're going to align with God or align